Hi, I'm Mac McCarthy, and I help people with their breakups. And today I have another breakup story to share. And if you have a breakup story you want to share, please visit writemac.com, WRITEMAC.com. Send your story in just like this, and I could give you my take in a public YouTube video just like this. If you want to do a private response for your eyes only, that's also available. And if you'd like to do a live coaching session where you talk to me one-on-one, that's available. Go to my website and you can book a time and a day and we can unpack your entire breakup together. If you like this video, throw me a like. If you don't like it, that's just fine. If you have some comments to help this individual out, please put them down below. If you want to subscribe, there's going to be live streams pretty much daily, and you hit that bell and it'll tell you when it goes down. So let's get into it. Keep the stories coming in, folks. I've been doing a lot more live streams and stories, and there's been less stories coming in. I think people think I'm too busy to do them, but I'm not. Hi, Coach Mac. I'm so honored you took the time to reply to the comment on your YouTube channel, which is my absolute favorite. Here's my story. Who knows? Well, I'm honored that you're honored, and I'm honored that you're a big fan of the channel, so I'm happy to help you out, bud. You may want to use it on your channel. I am right now. Here's my story. I have been at my current job for almost 20 years. I have known this girl I work with for about 12 years. Wow, that's a lot of years. I've been at my current job for 20 years. I've known this girl I work with for about 12 years. So you're very familiar with who she is, what she does. And this is sometimes why you get together with coworkers, because it's comfortable. You know that individual before you even date them. I did not get a very good first impression of her when I first met her, but later on we became friends. Well, over 12 years, you mean, right? She lives with a guy and has a daughter by him. She is Hispanic and I'm Italian. Okay, that doesn't seem like that would be a problem. She told me once she does not like white guys, but we started going out to lunch and I always paid for her and I. Well, that's some people might say, oh, is this person racist or something like that? No, someone just has a preference on who they date based on past experiences and attraction. But those kind of tastes and those kinds of things can change. I don't mean fast food, but we started going out to lunch and I always paid for her and I. Well, that's your prerogative. If that's the way you like to do things, go for it. I don't mean fast food. I mean nice restaurants. Well, you're a classy guy, it sounds like. I treated her so well. She would get a sore throat and I would run to Starbucks across the street to get her a hot chocolate, her favorite, things like that. I always hinted I liked her, but nothing ever came of it. I will say this, there is a big age difference between us, so I'm not sure that that had a lot to do with it also. Well, age gaps do have a lot to do with relationships. They can start out fine. Generally speaking, older men can be attractive to younger women. But the odds of the relationship being long-term are probably less because of the values and the morals and the identity involved with a younger person and an older person. Someone that's older is a little bit more set in their ways, and this can be a problem. But I look very young for my age. Well, good for you. People always tell me that when there's a big age gap in their relationship. I just got carded just last night at a club. Well, that's a good feeling, isn't it? I spent a lot of money on her. Was I trying to buy her affection? Maybe. He writes. Is this something you usually do when you date? Do you pay for dinner? Do you pay for lunch? Or was it out of character would be my question. If it's your pleasure to pay for lunch or to pay for dinner, I'm okay with that. If you think it somehow builds clout in the relationship or the person owes you something later on, then it becomes a problem. I just really liked her. Anyway, they hired a temp worker who was also Hispanic, and she started going out to lunch with him. I was talking to him one day, and he told me that they would fool around at lunch. My jaw dropped. Well, she's not with you, and so this is in no case her cheating on you, and she has a right to do that. Although I was seeing someone at the time myself, and it didn't really upset me too much. Anyway, this guy eventually quit, and I noticed he stopped talking to her his last 3 weeks of his job. Well, fooling around could mean many different things. The guy could be exaggerating. But also, if you confront her or say anything about it, she's not going to be too happy that you two are gossiping about her at lunch. His last day, he told me he thought she was a psycho. Well, that's his opinion based on his experience and his interactions with her, and it's just secondhand information. Mind you that she is a supervisor, so I stopped seeing my girlfriend, or the girl I was seeing, because she moved to the East Coast and we started to go out to lunch again. One thing I noticed was that she never even said thank you to me once for buying her lunch. That's a red flag in my book. That's a red flag. If you're going to buy lunch, someone should at least say thank you. I know it's a small thing, but I'm big on gratitude. I'm big on people being thankful. You don't need to throw it in her face, but her never saying it one time, that's a character flaw. But still, I had this enormous attraction for her still. Well, the idea that you're enormously attracted to her and you can overlook the fact that she never says thank you when you buy her lunch, would you do that if she was just cute or if she was just okay looking? Don't sacrifice your morals and your values. It's going to catch up to you later on. I don't know why there were so many red flags, but I continue to ignore them. I'll tell you why, because you're enormously attracted to her. So when you're enormously attracted to a female, you usually blind yourself to the things you don't like. And it's not till you're in a relationship 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, and you're like, oh, those are really big red flags. They hired a new guy, and one day he took her and 3 other female coworkers out to lunch. Come Christmas time, this new guy told me she bought him 2 presents for Christmas. I swear, Mac, I drove home that day like a numb zombie. Well, bottom line is, deep down inside, you thought by buying her lunch, buying her coffee, and doing all these things that you were winning brownie points, that you were getting on her good side. But the reality is she was never truly interested in you in that way. And you didn't see that. I felt like someone had punched me in the stomach 5 times. I was so hurt. I confronted her about it the next day. I said, wow, that really hurt me. Well, that's not going to go over big. That's going to be needy. That's going to be clingy. It's going to be highly unattractive. Even though that's how you felt, you set yourself up for that. Because in no part of this story have you told me that she's conveyed any kind of attraction to you. She's accepted free lunches. And you might say she's bad for doing that. But on the flip side, you've never asked her out on a date. And you've never taken it to the next level in 12 years. So what is she supposed to do? I confronted her about that the next day. I said, wow, that really hurt me. All nice things I do for you, and you bought him 2 gifts and me nothing. She tried to tell me, well, we all bought him a gift. To be honest with you, it's a bit petty on your end to feel this way, because there could be a variety of reasons why she bought him a gift, and one of them might be she's attracted to him, the same reason you bought her lunch. That certainly did not make me feel any better. The important part here is not for her to make you feel better, but for you to get clarity and for you to realize where she stands with you. I did not speak to her for about 7 months. Then they passed a birthday card around for her, and I ended up signing it like a fool. I still regret it to this day. Why? Because what are you holding a grudge because she bought some other guy a gift? This is a little bit petty. We started talking again. In the meantime, I noticed she was not wearing her engagement ring anymore, and she started to go out to lunch with another coworker who is currently separated with his wife, and he has 3 kids. All right, so in this workspace, you seem to keep a lot of notes and statistics and things on other people, and it's just really not going to serve you if you're pursuing this individual, because every time she goes out with someone else, you're playing detective. And the reality is, I would shift your energy and your time into meeting someone that you don't work with, and someone that is reciprocal in providing you with the attraction that you're attracted to her and she's attracted to you. Because has she shown you any attraction yet? Has she conveyed to you that she's actually attracted to you or interested? Because I'll tell you what, she knows you like her. She just does not care about my feelings at all. I would say that you don't care about your feelings at all, because you're putting your feelings on a chopping block. You're repeatedly doing things like buying someone lunch when they never say thank you. And you're doing this, if this was just an average individual or an intern that you didn't care much about and they didn't say thank you, you probably just wouldn't take them out to lunch again and think nothing of it. It is like she's just throwing it in my face now. I don't think she's throwing it in your face. I think that's the way you're taking it. Last November, I asked her jokingly when we were going out to lunch again, and she got a panicked look in her face and said she does not like to leave for lunch because there are no parking spaces available when you come back, which is a downright lie. Well, if it's an excuse or a lie, she doesn't want to hurt your feelings. Secondly, you asking her out jokingly instead of being direct is weak and needy and unattractive. If you feel like she lied, then she's basically telling you, I don't want to go to lunch with you. There are plenty of spaces. I just happened to run into them the very next day coming off the elevator. They saw me and would not even make eye contact with me. Again, they're not trying to hurt your feelings. They're actually trying to be mindful of your feelings. Anyway, we had a text war on New Year's Eve, and she kept contradicting herself. She said, as far as she's concerned, he is just a friend, and that is that. Then she asked me to be happy for her. Huh? I thought he was just a friend. How would you take that, Mac? Well, this whole situation, I would advise you to ditch the idea of taking her out to lunch again. I would advise you to be colleagues first and foremost, acquaintances second, and come to the reality that she's not interested in you in the way that you're interested in her. And you're playing a passive-aggressive game where you're jokingly asking her out to eat. You're asking her questions about who she's with and what she's doing. And it just becomes more and more unattractive to her. And depending on where your role is at work, she's trying to keep it cool, right? Or else she would just completely blow you off. I've gone full-blown no contact with her and him since January 1st of this year. Well, that's your prerogative. I'm in a better place now. I notice she fakes her laughs when she sees me walk by it at the top of the aisle. Not sure what that means. I'm not sure what that means either. It still bothers me when I come back from lunch and see her chair empty as well as his. I'm not a tougher now, but it still bugs me. You never actually were with this woman, correct? So her going out with someone else, and if that bugs you so much, I would consider getting a different job or not putting that in your regular walkway. I can't change cubicles, but thank goodness a wall partition separates us, so I do not need to see her. Just hear her voice, which is bad also. This is a time to consider getting a new job or considering asking for a different spot in the office. That would be my answer. Can you move cubicles? I have run into her, but I turn my head, and so does she. Well, tit for tat, two wrongs don't make a right. At some point, be a mature individual and accept the fact that she likes someone else and you're probably never going to get to a romantic state with her, and just be colleagues. I guess it is safe to say she is a narcissist. Based on what you've told me, I wouldn't go that far, but you know her better than I do. I'm 56 years old and it's not easy for me to find another job. Okay, I understand that. If it's not easy for you to find another job, then can you change departments? Could you change cubicles? Or could you make your relationship with her colleague-based, acquaintance-based, pull away from the idea that because you bought her lunch and you've done all these nice things that somehow that you had a chance in the future, and let that go? And like she said, dare I add, you don't necessarily need to be happy for her, but you can accept it, correct? Bottom line, I just can't believe how I was treated. Do you have an opinion on all of this? She told you where she stands and who she is. Now you need to accept it. The fact that you were a nice guy and you went out of your way for her, she never said thank you, you're not going to change that. So you need to accept it. I get the fact that she's just never liked me. I don't think you get the fact that she just never liked you. And I don't think it was like that she didn't like you. She just didn't like you romantically or intimately. And it's probably difficult for her to work with you also in that way. And so if you want to make this right, what I would suggest is go, hey, I know it's been awkward. We work together. We're next to each other in cubicles. You know I always had a thing for you. Let's go out to lunch and let's just bury the hatchet. And because you work together, not because you want to get with her, just so you can be cordial, because I don't see you having a chance by having no contact with her. That's not going to create attraction in her for your situation, and that's not going to make things better. Thank you so much, Mac. You are the best. Your videos are the best. I really appreciate it, bud. So if you have a video out there and you want my take on it, please send it in to writemac.com. Thank you for supporting the channel.